What's going on, everyone? So the Minnesota Timberwolves eliminated the Denver Nuggets, which thank you, Minnesota, right? Now we're all Minnesota fans because one, I think they give us the best chance of Boston being defeated, right? Last thing we want is Boston breaking that tie. We want to break that tie. So I think Minnesota is the best matchup to potentially beat Boston. Fingers crossed in that regard. But more than anything, gave Mike Malone a big piece of humble pie. I love it. Thank you. Right? It's not so much the players. Like, the players haven't really talked. The players have been very, accommodating of the Lakers and kind of just praising the Lakers and just kind of, they've been good, right? It's been Mike Malone who just keeps chirping and chirping and chirping, and they're all upset and crying, all because, Anthony Edwards is like waving bye to the crowd and all that stuff. And it's just like, dude, you just got to taste your own medicine. Don't dish it if you can't take it, right? Like, it's easy to talk when you're on top. As soon as you're not, all of a sudden now you want to cry. Now you want to stop it. So it was just, it was priceless, right? There's some things money can't buy, but for everything else, there's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Thank you. Okay. But I digress. Now, one of the big things that the Denver Nuggets are going to have to figure out this offseason is how are they going to kind of retool? Obviously, they're going to be right back next season. They're going to be just as good. They're going to be an excellent team. But one of the things that I talked about, and one of the reasons why I thought we had a really good chance of beating Denver this time around, obviously that wasn't the case, but one of the reasons I thought so was their lack of bench. They were already thin last year, and they were even thinner this year. And I thought with the loss of Bruce Brown, the loss of Jeff Green, I thought that would really hurt them and impact them to a point where it could be detrimental to their season. Turns out that it was, right? Like, that was a big point of emphasis. So they're definitely going to have to figure out some form of bench depth, right? They don't need anything crazy, but they need something that they can kind of plug in, even get another body that can kind of back up Jokic, kind of give him some minutes, right? Because even though Mike Malone doesn't really seem to like to go that route, he kind of likes to just kind of go the small ball route. But like, they got to figure something out, right? Because clearly they still need some level of depth, right? So in Minnesota, they were, the five were able to match it, but they had several key guys off the bench that were the deciding factors, particularly Naz Reid. So I do expect Denver to kind of address the bench issues this upcoming offseason. Another big thing, though, is KCP. What are they going to do with KCP? Now, KCP, stick around another year, right? See how that goes. But there's also a lot of talk, and even before Denver was eliminated, that he might go look for a new contract, that he kind of wants an extension. They want to kind of work stuff out. Now, he is only making roughly $15 million a year. So that's the question, is like, what is his market? Is it 15? Is it 18? Like, I think he's somewhere in that, like, maybe 15 to 20 range. All right, we'll see. But will they kind of make that address point this offseason, or do they wait till next year? Because here's the thing. They're going to have to start making decisions. You got Michael Porter Jr. making like $36 million. You got, obviously Jokic, Jamal Murray making their money. They're going to have to pay Aaron Gordon. So he doesn't have an opt-out option this season, but next season he does, right? So it's very possible they could end up having to pay him, that they're going to have to give him a new contract. Then you're going to have to pay KCP, right? Like, are you paying all five of these guys 35 to 40 million a year? Like, what are you going to do in that regard? And they can't afford to lose Aaron Gordon. To me, KCP is the odd man out. Because look, they're not getting rid of Jamal. They're not getting rid of Jokic. Right? They're not getting rid of Michael Porter Jr. And so it basically comes down to Aaron Gordon or KCP. Aaron Gordon is arguably the third most important player, right? Everything he does, all the dirty work, hustling, getting the rebounds, like, just don't get me wrong. Michael Porter Jr. is a guy that he can light it up, hit big shots. He's got good length. He's a good mismatch. But Aaron Gordon does all the little detail things that usually translate to winning. I mean, just look at the Lakers series, right? He was killing us, right? So I don't think that they can afford to let Aaron Gordon go. So I think that they're going to have to keep those four guys. And then if that's the case, then you're probably losing KCP. And now, what does that mean? That the Lakers could potentially kind of put their name in the ring? Because here's the thing. I genuinely believe that KCP, if Denver doesn't work out, I could see him coming back to the Lakers. And if the Lakers could get their full exception, right, Does he come back to the Lakers for that? Because like I said, right now he's making like $15 million. Now, again, it kind of gauges based on the market. What does the market look like? Right? If his market is like 20 million, then no, I don't think he's going to take like a $7 million discount. Right? But if the market is kind of, 15 to 17 range, maybe 18, I could see him maybe potentially taking a little bit of a haircut, right? He's making 15 now. If he can't stay at Denver, would he take 2 million less to go back to the Lakers? I think so. I mean, that's when he had the most success, when he was like, that's where he emerged. He never wanted to leave the Lakers. He always wanted to stay with the Lakers, right? So I do think it makes a lot of sense of like, okay, well, if I can't stay at Denver, let me just go back to the Lakers. Let's go try to win another championship. And he would be ideal, no matter what the Lakers do, right? Go trade for Trae Young, go trade for Donovan Mitchell, go get DeJounte Murray, whoever. I don't care who they get. You're probably giving up Reeves in any type of trade. So you're going to need a 2, because you can always have Jared Vanderbilt play the 3. LeBron's going to play the 4. AD's going to play the 5, right? So like if you get DeJounte Murray, well, KCP can slot up. You get Trae Young, KCP can slot up. You get Donovan Mitchell, KCP slot up. In a perfect world, you get Donovan Mitchell and imagine Donovan Mitchell, KCP, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Stop. Like, you're not beating that. If they're healthy, good luck, right? KCP's coming off of like literally an all defensive level season, 3-point percentage, all of that, right? He's a very valuable piece. Now, if a team throws a bunch of money at him, though, I could see him going, well, I want to ring with the Lakers. I want to ring with the Nuggets. Do I go get my bag, right? If a team, like if Orlando, let's say, because Orlando really needs shooting, right? If they throw 20 plus million at KCP, I could see him maybe going, all right, let me go get this bag, right? I could see that being the case. I mean, you kind of saw that with Bruce Brown, right? Bruce Brown was supposed to be a lock to sign with the Lakers. Like all intents and purpose, looked like the Lakers were about to sign him to Gabe Vincent's money. And then here come the Indiana Pacers, and they were like, hey, we'll give you a bag. He was like, well, I already got my ring, right? Like, let's go get that bag. So I personally fully expect that to be the case, right? I fully expect them to I expect him to kind of have offers out there that maybe a team might overpay for. But I mean, if he wants to keep winning, if he kind of wants to have the best of both worlds, and he's like, I can make 13 million, get back in LA where I wanted to be and I never really wanted to leave, and on top of that, I can still make some money and contend for a championship. I like the Lakers' odds in that regard, right? And it would just be kind of nice to, kind of get part of the band back together, right? There's a couple guys like a Kyle Kuzma. I'd be like, pass. Like, I love Kuz. Thanks for what you did for us. Like, there's some guys that I'm just like, it's fine if we don't bring them back. But KCP is one of the guys that I'm just like he's one of the premier 3-and-D guys at the 2-guard position, right? He understands his role. He knows what he needs to do, and he's excellent at it, right? He's getting up there in age, so it's not like, he's not 27 to where a team's going to be like, man, like we gotta lock in KCP, right? So like, I don't think that it's that out of the realm of possibility. It's not something I would hold my breath on, right? But it is a real looming question, because it's like, if let's say Denver gives KCP $18 million a year, right? Let's say he signs a 2-year, $36 million, because he just signed a 2-year, 30 and some change million, right? Like, let's say he signs a 2-year, $36 to $40 million deal. Well, now you're going to end up paying Aaron Gordon. I mean, he's making like 23, 24 right now, something like that. By the time he's ready to opt out, you're going to be looking at 30 plus million for him. You got Michael Porter Jr. is going to be making 40 million pretty soon. It's just, you look at their roster, it's like at some point they're going to have to make a decision on the starting 5. At some point, they're either going to have to pay everybody, and now they got $200 million on the books between their starting 5, and there goes their opportunity for a bench. Or do they look at it and go Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., maybe bring in Christian Brown, right? Kind of make him play the 2-guard role. Boom, there's our starting 5. Let's go get 2 or 3 guys for the bench. Let's go, right? Off to the races, right? Like something like that, I could see them maybe potentially looking into or looking at, because Again, the decisions are going to have to be made for Denver at some point. I mean, look, this was something even before Denver got eliminated right now. But I do think them getting eliminated might kind of highlight some stuff a little more, kind of make that, because like, let's say they go back to back. Right? Let's say that they won last year. Let's say that they win this year. Right? To me, it's kind of like, do they go like we can't break this up. We got to keep this together, right? Like we just won 2 straight champions. Like, we got to go for the 3-peat, baby. Like KCP, don't worry about it. We get you, 20 million, 40, 2 years, 40 million, whatever, right? Like, now you're incentivized to kind of keep the band together, keep the ball rolling. You just won back-to-back, trying to win some more, right? But now that you took that loss, it's like, okay, there are teams that can match us. There are teams that can beat us, right? Outside of we're not just going to run through the West like we did the previous year. So it's like, okay, we clearly need to make some upgrades in certain areas and key areas. Let's start making those decisions, right? Again, maybe they prolong it till next offseason, but then again, that's when Aaron Gordon can opt out. You got KCP, a free agent, and then Aaron Gordon can opt out. And it's like, do you really want to kind of, you imagine that usually teams in general, they usually want to kind of get that resolved now so they know, so it's not this like spring action thing to where it's like, okay, well, if we need to unload KCP or maybe work out some trade or whatever, right? Maybe KCP says, hey, so you get something for me, opt in, trade me to the Lakers or something, right? Like the Lakers can't give me 15, so I'd rather take that. Like, it's just, again, like if you're Denver, you want to at least maintain the flexibility, right? I understand, Denver might not, especially Mike Malone and Denver, probably don't want to send KCP to Lakers, but KCP could just walk. Just say, okay, fine, like if you don't want to trade me and get something, then I'll just walk and I'll just take $2 million less and just go sign with the Lakers, right? So like, again, it kind of boils down to like, what does KCP want? What does Denver want? What's best for all parties involved? We're going to find out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Would you love KCP back? Do you think no? Like, stay away from him. Go get somebody else. Maybe get somebody a little younger. Again, it's very limited in that regard. So it's not like there's a ton of great options. And at least KCP works next to LeBron and Anthony Davis. KCP isn't afraid of the moment. Right? Like, you got a Malik Beasley, took a flyer on him, and look, he was unplayable. Right? He couldn't make a shot to save his life. Like, I probably could have outshot him with the way he was shooting for the Lakers. Like, it's crazy. But it's just, hopefully, they can kind of figure it out. And I'd personally love to have KCP back. But do you feel the same way? Again, how do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.